What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Pugilism, aka MKO Boxing, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, follow me on TikTok, all that good stuff. So, yeah, let's get into this one. So I just got through, just finished watching not too long ago the rematch, Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen 2. As you all will know, the first fight was quite controversial. I would say the vast majority of people, including myself, had it scored to Dave Allen on points by about, maybe a round or two. Thought that he'd done enough with the knockdown and everything. But so we're going into this rematch, and it's one of these where I predicted Dave Allen to win. I thought he'd done enough the last time, and I just didn't think Johnny Fisher could do enough in terms of improvements, to really be confidently picking him to win this rematch. And it turned out to be right with the pick, but I didn't see the what happened actually happening. So this rematch started off quite well. You had Johnny Fisher on the back foot, trying to box, trying to use the jab, sort of sticking the left hand out, constantly trying to have it in Dave Allen's face. And you had Dave Allen, for me, getting the better of the first round, able to sort of slip in his own jab, while Johnny Fisher just sort of had his left hand extended. There weren't that many punches sort of landed in round one. There weren't that many. There wasn't that much activity. But in terms of the activity we did have, for me, Dave Allen got the better of it, got the better of that first round. And then as we got into the second round, Johnny Fisher began to come into his own. He started going, upstairs, downstairs, threw some decent shots to the body as the fight wore on into sort of rounds 3, 4. He done the right thing, just started going to the body. But I felt there was, it was a funny one, because I thought, going into sort of, the second round, I thought Fisher won. Third round, he was taken at 2. But I thought there were some moments in there, and there were certain shots that Dave Allen was able to land. And I think it was in the third round where I'm pretty sure he landed, I think it was a right hook, and Johnny Fisher took it quite well. But I felt, it wasn't really mentioned in the commentary, but I'm sure it was in that third round where one of the shots Dave Allen threw caused the legs of Johnny Fisher to, not go like to the point where he's going to go down any second now. But I did see that his legs kind of seemed to be a bit unsteady, a little bit wobbly, even as early as round 3. So I think you could tell that the power of Dave Allen was certainly starting to tell, even at about round 3. Although, yes, he was probably losing that round, but the shots he did land were powerful punches, and you could tell that as much as Fisher was winning the rounds, as we sort of went into round 4 now, and that round got underway, yes, Fisher was doing well on the back foot. He landed a few body shots that looked a little bit low. He was probably winning the rounds. For me, he was sort of winning the rounds. So 2, 3, 4, they were kind of Fisher rounds for me. But Dave Allen always sort of looked dangerous, and it always looked like Johnny Fisher wasn't quite comfortable with what he was doing. It was always it looked kind of a bit jittery, and it looked like he was having to do this work. He was having to sort of throw these punches. He didn't really look comfortable, whereas Dave Allen was losing the rounds, but even in losing the rounds, he was the man that was looking more comfortable, more in control. He wasn't breathing as heavy as Johnny Fisher. He seemed to be calm and just stalking and walking Johnny Fisher down, and just content to land his couple of punches. And, the danger was there. The danger signs were there from early, that he was able to slip through and land some of these hooks and dangerous uppercuts and stuff. So Fisher was winning the rounds, but there you could always see there was that little bit of a danger there. Admittedly, I didn't think the stoppage was coming when it did, but round 5, That was the penultimate round. That was the round when it all ended. And again, it was more of the same. Johnny Fisher sort of on the back foot, trying to stick that left hand in the face of Dave Allen, trying to desperately sort of keep Dave Allen off. But, Dave Allen, as was the case throughout all the rounds, was able to slip through, land the power shots, and then you had he got put down. He put Johnny Fisher down heavily. I think it was a left hook, then a right hook, put him down with, and you could tell that it was a very, very heavy knockdown. But in my head, I was thinking, well, Johnny Fisher's the home fighter. He's just gone down, and there was about 17 seconds on the clock from what I recall. So 17 seconds left on the clock. I thought, well, Fisher's hurt badly here, but he's going to see round 5 out. I didn't think there's any way he's going to, I thought that 17 seconds is going to go. But Dave Allen, as I said, very calm, cool, calm, collected. And then as soon as the action resumes, that 17 seconds left, bang, bang, Dave Allen lands, wells away with more hooks. And, I think it was a left hook just closed the show, just one of these ruthless left hooks where you can tell he put all his power, all his might into this left hook. And of course, Johnny Fisher was a sitting duck for that shot. And it was like, as soon as that hand made contact with Johnny Fisher's face, that was it. You could just tell the lights were out, just bang, left hook. And you could tell he went to sleep immediately. Allen followed up with another shot, another uppercut. But it was gone. But from the moment he landed that left hook, it was gone. I think the corner, Fisher's corner, threw in the towel, and that was all she wrote. And, the referee didn't even bother count. It was over. Fight ends at the 3-minute mark of the fight of the 5th round. So, yeah, very, very impressive by Dave Allen. And it just shows you, he's not top level, but he does have certain skills, and he did have the most important thing in this fight. He did have that experience that Johnny Fisher doesn't have, and he didn't have a great amateur background, Dave Allen, nor did Johnny Fisher. But Dave Allen, he's just got that experience, and he's got that boxing brain that Johnny Fisher doesn't really have. He beat him in terms of that ring intelligence and experience, and he, as he said after the fight, he was just seeing certain patterns in what Johnny Fisher was doing. Johnny Fisher overextending, exaggerated movements, and he just kind of read Johnny Fisher like a book. And yeah, I think this was one of those pitfalls of taking the rematch immediately, was that Dave Allen, with his greater experience and sort of better know-how and that boxing brain of his, and the fact he was able to hurt and put Fisher down last time. I mean, a lot of people did pick Johnny Fisher, but for me, I just saw it Dave Allen's way, but not quite as explosive as he ended it. So congrats to Dave Allen. He deserves a homecoming. He's looking to have a homecoming fight somewhere in the north, perhaps, Doncaster, where he's from, or somewhere of that nature, somewhere north. As for Johnny Fisher, I think he just needs to sort of go back to square one and try to take it easy and rebuild. I mean, it is a devastating loss for him, because it kind of shows that he's at sort of a very low domestic, maybe southern area level. But even Dave Allen himself was saying that Dave Allen, is not at British level. He admitted to being below that. So it's one of these things where I think Johnny Fisher can still sell tickets, and he may be able to rebuild. But I think there's a lot to work on and a lot of improvements that need to be made. But congratulations to Dave Allen, fantastic win, great victory, and he did it his way, as his song said in the intro. So let me know your thoughts. Until next time, it's MKO Boxing, over and out.